Well, I'm pretty excited because this is the all-new Porsche Macan, what Porsche calls the sports car of compact SUVs. And I'm excited because I have two Porsches. I've got an older 911 Carrera 4S, and I have a Cayenne SUV that we use as our daily driver. So I use both a sports car and I use their utility vehicle, and they've baked both, they say, into this, the sports car of SUVs. The basis of this car, as many people know, is the Audi Q5 platform. But Porsche says they've basically used that platform and built everything up that's brand new. Suspensions, engines, the way it handles and performs, staggered offset wheels, all kinds of things to make this a true Porsche. So we're here in California taking this new Macan on the racetrack at Willow Springs. All right, we've had a chance to drive the Turbo, and now we're getting a chance to drive the Macan S, which is also a turbo. It can be really confusing. The turbo, quote, turbo version is a 3.6 liter, a V6 with 400 horsepower. This S is a 3 liter with 340 horsepower and 339 foot-pounds of torque. It's no slug. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, with the turbo, the steel springs also have the addition of PASM. That's Porsche's stability system, and it's optional on the Macan S. And I would suggest, if you're interested in buying the Macan S, that you actually spring for that update, because it does make a big difference having a chance to drive it on the track with or without, and having a chance to carve through the canyons outside of Los Angeles here. It really does make a big difference. But this is the car that I really wanted to drive, because this is the one most people are going to get. They're going to go for the Macan S. About 70% of the people shopping for this car will probably get the S model. So I really wanted to drive it, and I got to tell you, if you spend the money and add on the extra features that you really want, it really isn't that much of a step down. It's a very nice car, and 340 horsepower does a fantastic job, especially with the 7-speed dual-clutch PDK transmission. And this is a technical track, and this Macan, we're driving the base S with the 3 liter 6-cylinder, is really quite a machine. I'm surprised, when you drive this Macan on the road, you really don't get an appreciation for what it's capable of doing. But when you take it out on the track, it really is a lot of fun. Now this one has the PASM added on to it, so you do get the ability to change the suspension feel, but it is a lot of fun. So what I'm finding here, now that we've been around this track, I don't know, half dozen times or so, is that it's not a sports car. It has more mass, obviously. It's heavier, so therefore you have to be more precise with your transitions and your braking points. But if you get it wrong, and I'll admit I've had a few that have not been spot on, the car gathers itself. It really is quite collected and balanced, and when you start to get a little pear-shaped in a corner, it's not the front end plowing through or the back end rotating around. It's actually the whole car just feels as one unit, like all four wheels are kind of capturing you and bringing you back to where you should be. So it's really impressive that it feels so safe. Macan S really was the vehicle that I wanted to drive the most today. Sure, the turbo's a lot of fun, but the lion's share of people are going to choose the less expensive vehicle and add more features. And it really isn't that much of a step down. 60 horsepower is noticeable when you're going flat out on the racetrack, but when you're driving it in the conditions we were today on curvy canyon roads and out on the freeway, going to work, coming home, doing regular activities, it's going to do just fine. And you can use that extra money and add in exactly the way you want it to go. The Macan is not big. That's one thing I want to stress. When you compare it to a Cayenne, which I have, I noticed it's quite a bit narrower. The back seat is a lot smaller and obviously doesn't have the cargo capability. I really think this isn't the vehicle for a family of four. Probably a bigger vehicle is. This is more a car for a professional or a professional couple that likes to go out and do some activities on the weekend, go skiing, things like that. It's a wonderful vehicle. They're only making 50,000 Macans around the world, so I don't think it's a question of whether people are going to like it. I think it's going to be more of a question of, are they going to be able to get one when they go into the dealership?